You're watching the Hyperloops. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel to show your support. Thank you and enjoy the video. Hey everybody, this is Nick Quenker from thehyperloops.com, and today I'm going to be bringing you a deck tech of sorts for Dengar Kylo Ren. I haven't played this deck too much, just a game, but I've thought about it a lot, and I've played a lot of Kylo decks. And I played a few downgrade Night Sister layer decks, so I kind of have an idea of what I'm looking for. And since I think the metagame is kind of getting a little more fleshed out with the Gandor Holocron, I think it's a good time to start exploring other options. One thing to note is that in the printed cost, Dengar is an 11-14, but with the Gandor Holocron, he is actually at 10-13. And Kylo's the same, and Night Sister layers, it's always been the same. So reasons why I think I like this pair is because I think Kylo's still in a really good position in the meta. I think people still should be playing and are going to be playing Palpatine and Reylo. I think you will see kind of there'll be less of that. So it will make Kylo a little bit worse. But I do think that you still have to respect those decks, and if you're playing in sort of a random, like the Artificery tournaments, you still will play against them. I think you will see more people not playing them, but I do believe that he's still a good choice. Dengar is just, he's interesting. His dice are kind of like whatever. His ability is really what makes him shine. It's sort of like a third die. And dealing an extra damage guaranteed. It's easy to sort of set up your following turn with Dengar. If you can like plan to deal 9 and then like follow it up with the activation on a ping to KO the character. So I think he's worth exploring. He is yellow, which will matter coming up with a particular card that I think will make a matchup pretty favorable. So first I'm going to talk about the upgrades here. We have Dengar's Fireblade is a one of. I'm actually not sure about this card. We're going to try it out for a bit. The fact that it does deal damage a la Cross Guard, it does let us turn one of Dengar's bad rolls into a mediocre 1 damage roll, but you can pair the modified sides from a lot of the sides with his 1 melee, which I think does give this card a little bit of value. If you're playing against Mill, also just having the ability to focus a die does have a good amount of value. We have here Dagger Immortus, which is not coming up because I'm here, but we got Dagger. Dagger's good. Just play one of. It's a legendary, but it's really good against Palpatine and Reylo, so we play that bad boy. It's a very good card. Then we have Heirloom Lightsaber, which hasn't really been played very much. Kind of a slept on card a bit. It's just kind of hard to fit all the cards. I do feel like in a lot of matchups people will be going for Kylo first, so you want to be able to like overwrite and get some value. So I have 2 redeploys to let Dengar finish the game. I only have 1 Xi'an right now because I think this deck will struggle a little bit on resources. Also Kylo dying, it's our only blue character compared to the Dooku Kylo version that has 2 blue characters, so that just makes it a little bit harder. We do want to play double Xi'an. I think is still very good, still worth only 1 blue character. It's a very solid card. It's cheap, so it's always going to be good. It's good with overriding it to get us another ability. We have Crossguard Lightsaber, which is kind of a staple of Kylo decks. Does damage, relatively good sides, hates on shields, great with Nyman when you have both out. Treasure Lightsaber, very good card. The draw card is really good, a lot better than I think a lot of people think. It's a little bit worse in this deck because you don't have as many base melee sides, but it's only 1 less, and I still think it's a very good card. So moving along, we have Wanted, And I think this is one of the better bounties. We do want to be playing 6 to 7 bounties. I have 7 right now because of a Hunt Them Down I'm playing, but I'll get to that in a second. Wanted is just a solid card. Gives you 2 resources, so you can dump a bunch of upgrades after you kill a guy. Hopefully Kylo will kill someone, then you can put stuff on Dengar. It helps us trigger Dengar, helps us trigger Night Sister Lair. So we do need a good amount of a good amount of down bounties. Unfortunately, some of them are just kind of like whatever. But with Night Sister Lair and Hunt Them Down, we have a good amount of incentive to play them, and I think the payoff is worth it. Deathmark, I think it's pretty good considering that we do have Dengar. We want to keep his ability up, so when we kill someone, we'll draw 3 cards, hopefully draw another bounty, and we're able to play it on the following turn. We can keep Dengaring, because once you kill someone, you might not have the other bounty, but drawing 3 will allow you, most likely, to draw a bounty between your natural draw and the 3 cards you draw. Forced Labor is just the other bounty. I think a lot of people like it over Deathmark, but given that Dengar, given that I think the ability is probably a little bit better, but I think the synergy, guaranteeing that you draw your second bounty to keep Dengar going. You can also, with Deathmark and Hunt Them Down, you do want getting 2 down is pretty good. Like if you're able to, for 1 to increase it by 2, and if you live the dream and you get 3 for 3, then that's pretty good. And that's one of the reasons why I kind of want Deathmark, because of the drawing the 3 cards will allow us to more reliably hunt them down later if we draw more bounties. So I think that's more important. Dead or Alive is just a really good card. This is like the best bounty for sure. It's a bounty. It's a card you'd play even if it wasn't a bounty. It's just incredible card. It's going to gain you a lot of resources. You want this in your opening hand every time. You kind of want to mulligan aggressively for it and just start making money. You're going to make so much money, and it's going to be crazy, and you're going to be so happy when you draw it, and your deck's going to feel way worse when you don't draw it. The games you do draw, it's just going to be like, woo! It's kind of like it binds all things on crack, but just better, actually, because it turns on a lot of your cards. We're going to get to the events here. I got Fluid Riposte. Just really good removal. Spot Blue is a little harder in this deck just because a lot of decks, all the offensive decks will be going for Kylo, so you hopefully will draw them early. It's a little weird. I think that the event suite in this deck could definitely change depending on how we see things. You maybe only want to play 1 Fluid and sort of spread yourself around. That way you don't get burned if they kill Kylo too fast, but you're probably going to lose the game if they kill Kylo really fast anyways. You kind of just want to protect it with your 0 costs here. We have 1 Electroshock just because, just another piece of mitigation. It's spot yellow, so you get a little flexibility between the spots. As I said about Hunt Them Down, I think you do want some burst stuff. I think against decks like Mill, you do want that option. And just in general, you need to have them respect an option like this, because if they don't have to respect it, they can play very differently. And it's obviously like a card you don't want in your opener, but you want it in sort of like round 2, round 3, that sort of thing. The other Kylo deck I was playing had No Mercy and Draw Closer. We really can't play those cards in this deck, unfortunately, unless we built them in a really weird way. But yeah, we can't even, because we have to play all these bounties, and it's just No Mercy doesn't work. Draw Closer would only work with Kylo. But and it just only works with melee. It doesn't work with range. There's like a lot of problems there. There are some other options at burst, but I think Hunt Them Down is better. We are playing the Deathmark to make sure that we get a good critical mask of bounties. I think it's fine. I think it's definitely worth trying, and I think it's just, even sometimes for 1, just Hunt Them Down for 1 is still fine. If it kills a character, it's just definitely worth it. We have a 0 cost suite of mess with your opponent's dice. I think the deck is actually kind of fast on its claim speed. I mean, thinking about it, guys, I think Survival is really incredible card. Against Kylo, against Reylo, it'll remove all the specials. Against Palpatine, it'll remove the focuses. It's just being able to remove pretty much any character die for free is just insane. The only problem is just having the condition of the battlefield, but this deck does feel like it's going to be fast enough for us to do that most of the time. And Doubt's like, it's fine. It's a fine card. It's you just have to like play it correctly. Just don't just spam it out there. Sometimes you just like they have a good side and you're like, oh, okay, I want to Doubt now. But a lot of times you just you want to find like a good spot where it's going to be good. And sometimes it'll save you damage, but sometimes it'll be incredible and just like save you like 2 or 3. And sometimes you do have the YOLO. I'm not a big fan of that, but I think the card's I think it's like at least 3 out of the 4 times you play it's going to be good for you. And meta dependent, obviously, on like how good it is. If you're playing against Pop Watto, against Watto, like doubting you +2. Just there's a lot of things going on where you could just maneuver your actions to play it. It's definitely a card that gets better the more you play with it. And here's like the final card that I wanted to talk about, Desperate Measures. It is, I think, the metagame, I think, will go a little bit more towards supports now that we're sort of like figuring them out a little bit. Most notably, if you're playing against a 3-color mill deck with Anakin's Pod Racer, being able to play a Desperate Measures on that Pod Racer is just going to be huge. It could definitely swing the matchup from like you're losing to you're winning because you just kind of like destroy 2 of their resources, and for the rest of the turn you're essentially gained a bunch of resources. And there's even against like, for example, like Kylo Dooku, you can blow up it binds all things, and they have to sort of respect that a bit. Against Palpatine, there's a bunch of 0-cost supports. There's a 0-cost support, Sith Teachings. I think that's the name of the card. You can blow it up. Against Reylo, they might have some type of support that you can blow up. It's obviously not great in those matchups, but it's also just like an incredibly powerful card against a field where your opponent's like, I have this 3-color support deck, and now I'm going to get him. And then, sort of, if you're playing against a 3-color support deck, this is because you're playing Kylo in a 2-character deck. This is sort of like an equalizer because they will have to fear this card and play around it. So yeah, let me know what you thought about this Decktech here. I would also love to hear your thoughts on this deck. I know some people have played this deck a little bit. And yeah, thanks for watching. Take care. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to show your support. If you want to become a patron, check out our Patreon. The link will be in the description. Thanks again.